How's it going, everyone? I'm Captain Wave and welcome to Let's Review, where I review the first episode or the first season of any anime and give it a rating out of 10 at the end of the video. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy.
Buso Renkin.
Where do I start with this anime? This anime is funny most of the time, but it is so goddamn serious at the same time. The fights that take place in this anime are so OP, but so funny too. Okay. So, we are directly greeted with the opening of the anime, which might I add is too fucking good. I can't stop watching it or listening to it. It's so damn good, it gives me goosebumps each time I watch it. Not even kidding. Okay, but let's get back to the main point. Right after the opening, we see a teenage boy hiding somewhere and gasping, terrified of what's happening and contemplating on whether this is a dream or if it's reality. He then sees a girl who was about to be attacked by a monster, the monster he was hiding from, and she was just about to be attacked. And he just jumped in to save her without thinking, no second thoughts, just save her. But instead he died trying. Yep, he died, literally. But then all of a sudden he gets up in his dorm and he realizes that it was a dream, He could feel the pain and he could remember every detail perfectly, but he realized it was a dream, and all his roommates and everyone come out and they're like, what the hell's wrong with you, why are you screaming? And then a lot of funny things go down. Not too funny, but it's like, yeah, it's basically a lot of funny things, and it ends there. And then this girl, the girl from his dream, passes by his dorm and says everything seems to be okay for now. So that's a little, shady thing going on over there. But then after that, after the funny things go down, it's the next day and they are all awake and they're going for school. So we realize the guy's name is Kazuki Muto, and he has a sister called Mahiro who just joined the school. So he, Mahiro, and his friends, they were all going to school, and discussing what happened last night. And well, when they entered school, all of a sudden, a teacher stops Kazuki because he was holding the wrong school bag, I don't know why in Japan that's a thing, but if you bring the wrong school bag, the teacher's gonna be pissed. The teacher asked where his real bag was, and he could surprisingly not remember where it was. So either way, some scenes pass, and Kazuki has to pluck weeds out of the school backyard. He finishes late at night, like, after plucking all the weeds, he finishes really late at night. And just when he was about to leave school, the teacher who stopped him earlier in the morning came back, and he was like, oh, are you done? And he throws Kazuki's bag to him, and Kazuki's like, where did you get this? And the guy said this was at the backyard, the school courtyard, somewhere like that, okay? Some shady factory next to the school, basically. And in Kazuki's dream, the factory is where he died. But then the teacher all of a sudden says, you disturbed my prey, and he becomes a monster. He turns into a freaking monster and suddenly tries to fucking eat him. And Kazuki's like, what the fuck is going on? And he starts running for his life. While he's running, his phone starts ringing and he picks it up and a girl starts talking. Later he realizes this is the same girl he tried saving in his dream. But then he realizes that all this was not actually a dream. He actually freaking died, but he does not know why he's alive. And neither does the teacher. That's what the teacher wants to eat him. So, while he's on the phone with the girl explains what exactly is happening. The details come later, but I'll tell you now. So basically, a long time ago, people discovered the power of alchemy, and because it was something illegal, later it was divided into two. Only the people who could understand alchemy properly could keep the power of alchemy. So alchemy was divided into two: homunculus and alchemic warriors. The homunculus, who live among humans and eat other humans for survival. Those are the monsters that you see, example, the teacher. And the alchemic warriors are the people who kill these homunculus so that the world can be safe. And alchemic warriors are people like the girl who just called Kazuki. So Kazuki's still running for his life while the girl tells him that these homunculuses or homunculi is a plural, so that's more appropriate. But she tells him that they will kill anyone who knows about their existence because it's quite secretive and it should not be known. So while he's running, all of a sudden Mahiro enters the school, and Mahiro came to pick him up, and he was like, "What are you doing here? You have to go right now because if the teacher sees you, he'll eat you." And she was like, "What?" And all of a sudden, like immediately right after she entered the school, the teacher ate her. Wow, my grammar's messed up. The teacher ate her, and well, she died basically. Not died, she just got eaten. And Kazuki got so pissed, so he picked up this rod and he started smashing the shit out of this homunculi. And he gets beaten, but right before he was gonna be killed again, the girl ends up saving his life. She comes up and she just brings out this weird alchemic device and screams Buso Renkin, and these sort of claw type things latch onto her legs, and then with those claws she literally cuts the shit out of the teacher, and the teacher basically dies after that, and Mahiro ends up getting saved. She's not eaten completely, she was just swallowed, so she was fine, but she fainted. So basically Kazuki was like, "Oh, you're the same girl from last night," and she was like, "I'll explain everything later. First, get your sister to safety." So when they were in the school, what's the place called? Sick bay, I guess. Okay, when they were in the school sick bay while Mahiro was sleeping, this girl, she goes into full details about what exactly is happening, and she tells him that he in fact died last night, but she gave him a new life by giving him something called a Buso Renkin that acts as a substitute for one's heart and gives the person the power to fight. But he should not fight because he was just given a new life, and it's best he stays the same way he used to be. She tells him that the place he was killed, the factory, had many homunculi. It was like a base for them, and she was gonna kill them all. And Kazuki was like, "I'll come with you," but then she rejected his offer because he had to take care of his sister, and she didn't want him to get involved anymore. So she goes off to fight the homunculi. Then once Mahiro wakes up, Kazuki quickly, takes her home. He quickly just runs fast as hell, takes her home, basically to the dorm, and he immediately leaves her and says, "I have something to do," and goes back. So he basically tries to go back to the factory to, to help the girl out because he feels guilty of having her do it alone. So while that's happening, the girl, she's just killing homunculi left and right like a badass. She's so cool. She's just like slashing everything open, and just too much. It is pretty awesome. This scene is pretty damn cool. But then the leader of the homunculi, who was right there, he says, "You're quite good," and basically he almost killed her. She runs out of stamina and she's caught by some other homunculi, and she was gonna be killed, but all of a sudden Kazuki enters the warehouse with, he's just screaming. He's like, whatever. And he realizes that the Buso Renkin is actually something that acts upon your will to fight. It'll give your will form. So, and it's just something like that. So he, gets so angry and he unleashes his will to fight, screams Buso Renkin, and a huge spear-like thing comes out. And he just uses his spear thing and he goes and slashes right into that leader homunculi, and basically just goes all the way through him, and it is quite disgusting. But while that is quite a good scene, he couldn't stop himself, so he kept going and he crashed against the wall. So that's quite funny actually. Meanwhile, the girl, keeps killing all the other homunculi, and she's safe now. So Kazuki's body's in a lot of pain because this is the first time he unleashes Buso Renkin. But she does in fact take liking towards him because he saved her life twice, kind of. So finally, like towards the end of the video, he says, "I want to save this city. I want to save Mahiro and my friends from all these homunculi." So she says that, "You know what? If you really want to do that, then you can become my pupil. I will help you train to become a better alchemic warrior." And then finally, after all that shit, at the end, we learn the girl's name. Her name is Tomoka. And it is, it's quite good. And he's like blushing and everything. He also kind of likes her. So yeah, Tomoka explains that she'll teach him how to fight, and the episode really just ends there. So this episode had many funny things and a lot of shit going on, but at least it is quite well detailed. It was quite well explained. For once, an anime's first episode had proper details about what exactly is happening. So I didn't actually go much into detail about the funny things that happened. I just told about the fights and a little bit funny things, which is pretty. And this anime really is really like very good. This, I think it released years ago, and I remember watching it. I remember watching it, and recently enough, I was quite bored, so I bothered rewatching Buso Renkin, and I was so happy that I rewatched it because it's so good. It's so fun, and my lord, I suggest everyone to watch this anime. It is so good. It is off the charts awesome for an anime for when it released. When it released, it was quite damn good. It only has 26 episodes, so it's quite a short anime, and it's watchable, very much watchable. So this is the time I give a rating for the anime's first episode. So the rating I give the first episode of Buso Renkin is a powerful 9 on 10. Yes, this thing deserves 9 on 10, and the whole anime deserves an 8.5, because there are some things I did not like about the anime, hence it became 8.5 out of 10 overall, but the first episode is definitely a 9 on 10, so yeah, the anime is pretty damn good. Well, with that, we end off this week's anime review, namely Buso Renkin. If you guys enjoyed this review, then please show some love to the like button down below, because it shows a lot of support to the series and it shows a lot of support to the channel. So I guess I'll see you guys next week, hopefully if I have time, for another anime review. I guess I'll see you guys then. Peace out.